It's time, guys. But it's too cold outside. Currently 10 degrees. Not fun conditions to be working on these machines. So I'm going to be bringing this thing inside the house, and Earthshaker is a go. Alright. Day one of Earthshaker. So, first thing that needs to be done whenever you're doing a restoration that you plan on taking everything off the top side is to go ahead and get the plate filled up and disconnect all of the connectors that connect it to underneath the plate field. You want to be able to basically be able to lift everything off without having to reach back up underneath here again. So also, before doing everything, you want to take thorough pictures of all of this, so that way you have a reference point in case you forget where things go or don't know where something goes in the future, because pictures are always going to be better than your memory. Trust me on that. So with that removed, that gives me the ability to move the playfield up into this position a lot easier. And I've got the playfield jacks on both sides right here. And I've got the playfield bottom portion rest in the nook of the lockdown receiver. Is this the best ideal situation down here? Not so much, but it's basically resting on one of the, I think it's one of the trough switches or the out hole down here, but it's getting it to where it's not going anywhere. And if that does get damaged, it's going to be minimal. But the current situation is looking pretty good when it comes to accessing the entire top side of the playfield. And that was my goal at this point. So, now we're going to start taking everything off of this damn thing. As I'm taking this apart, I've got multiples of like these little items right here that you can get off Amazon. I mean, you can use all different types of things. This is one method of separating hardware and stuff like that. Then of course you have the good old-fashioned 1 gallon Ziploc bags to keep everything separate, so that way you know where everything goes, or goes to a certain meg or a certain portion of the playfield. To each their own, but I've just found the good Ziploc bag method that works for me. So I still use these in a little bit, but yeah, that's one method I go about separating everything out. This is something I'm going to be doing to all of my solenoids, is basically clipping, adding a connector, and then of course putting a connector on here. But I'm not going to bother putting the connectors on these ends first, because I'm going to be doing a complete clean on the wiring harness with the dishwasher. So I'm not worried about that yet, but you know, that way I know at least for sure what color of wires go to what connector when it comes to reinstallation. So now it's just a matter of doing this for all that. Some of you may be curious on basically what all work is involved in doing this and how long does it take. So I'm going to show you this portion in real time. And like I stated earlier, this is something I'm definitely going to be doing
on all of my restorations going forward. Although some of the reasons why I did not mention is that now with the connections being this way, me or a potential future owner doesn't have to solder over the playfield or over the machine in general whenever replacing a bad coil. They can simply remove said mechanism from the playfield, attach a new coil to that particular mech, and all they have to do is solder on those new leads off of the machine, and it's got the connector ready to go. It just makes it much more comfortable to work with. And I mentioned that HEP does this. His method is much better than my method, of course, but it's still, in the end, going to give you the same benefits.
Every solenoid line has been cut and connectors are in place. And once I have desoldered all of the flash bulbs, then the wiring harness to the solenoids is pretty much ready for removal. Once you get it from freaking grabbing onto everything else. So that right there is what the playfield looks like with all of the solenoid wiring gone. So there's that portion of the harness right there. But yeah, this is going to be something that I'm going to be doing going forward. I could see how and why certain restorers like HEP, Chris at HEP does this. I've seen it and I'm just like, I wonder why. And I see why now, because it's a little more time consuming when it comes to the teardown. But when it comes to reassembly, this is going to be amazing right here. No more so many soldering that you're going to have to do or would normally have to do. I'm no longer going to have to do. There's no worry about accidentally getting the wires crossed, because you're going to have matching color points going from to and fro right here. Because a lot of times people will go, oh, I don't know, is this one going this particular lead or that lead or whatever? Is it diode this direction, that direction? People can sometimes get confused and stuff. So just one less thing to worry about now. So now, what should we remove now? I guess I could technically remove all of the solenoids and everything. Make the playfield a little more bare.
Just wanted to take a moment to show you the capabilities of this wireless drill that I bought and I showed off in my toolbox video. I had some doubters on this drill's capabilities when it came to torque and everything, and I just wanted to clarify, after using this for the teardown and also using it during the buildup, I love this wireless drill. There is a torque setting on it to go to full maximum, which you will need to do whenever you're drilling into the new playfield. But as far as like teardown and reassembly and everything and ease of use and longevity, so far I do enjoy this cordless drill.
The next portion of the harness that I'm going to be removing is the GI connections right here. This is the next harness that needs to come off, and then finally the switch matrix harness. So the lamp matrix is what I'm working on right now, starting down here, getting all these disconnected and over here, and then working my way up, and then that harness comes off, and then I'll start going through the switch to get that removed. And that's where it is. It's just all these right here need to come unscrewed and be removed, and I'll have to desolder this right here, these connections, and yep. Alright, all we got left now is the switch matrix. This is all the switches that are on this game. So we're gonna go through and take all of this off. Look at this. Disgusting. I'm holding my damn phone with the other hand that looks just as bad. Oh, Lord. But so now we're going to take all of this off, and I've pretty much decided that all these targets, they need to be replaced anyway, so I'm not worried about them being damaged or whatever. So whenever I throw this into the dishwasher, I'm not worried about it. The switches, they go pretty good in the dishwasher, no concern there. But these, sometimes we'll have to look at the leaves and everything after it's all said and done in the contacts to make sure they look good. But even then, I'm just going to get new targets anyways. But yeah, I'm trying to make sure that everything looks all right, but I think I'm gonna start taking all this off.
Okay, so I've sped this portion up, but again, just to point out how handy this cordless drill is, I used to do this all by hand with nut drivers, guys, and I'm never going back. Never again after experiencing it utilizing this tool.
Alright guys, so we are at the point to where everything has been removed, top side and bottom side of this Earthshaker. So now we need to start populating up the new play field right here. And that's where we're going to go more than likely in the next episode. So first thing I want to start doing is getting all the T-nuts. I've got new ones, we're going to put them on here, and it's just going to be a lot of mimicking what we see here and putting it on here with all the GI lines, stapling all those and stuff like that, diodes for the pop bumpers and all that. So that's where we're going to go next, is start populating up the new play field.